Will you always be poor? The Matthew Effect tells you the answer. Today's content will tell you that your future is determined by whether you will be rich or poor. Part 1. What is the Matthew Effect? The Matthew Effect comes from a parable in the Bible. Once upon a time, there was a king who was about to go on a long journey. Before leaving, he entrusted 3 servants with a gold coin each and instructed them, "Go and do business, and when I return, come and see me." When the king returned, the first servant said, "Master, you gave me 1 gold coin, and I have earned 10 gold coins." So the master rewarded him with 10 cities. The second servant reported, "Master, you gave me 1 gold coin, and now I have earned 5 gold coins." The king thought it was good and rewarded him with 5 cities. The third servant said, "Master, I kept the gold coin you gave me in a handkerchief, fearing I might lose it, and then locked it in a chest. Now I will take it out." Upon hearing this, the king awarded the gold coin to the first servant and said, "To everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance. But from him who has not, even what he has will be taken away." In essence, the Matthew Effect is about the strong getting stronger and the weak getting weaker, with the winners taking all. The rich will become richer, and the poor will become poorer because the rich enter a virtuous cycle, while the poor enter a vicious cycle. That is the Matthew Effect. Part 2. Without understanding the Matthew Effect, no matter how hard-working you are, it's useless. You work hard, you are diligent, but you haven't succeeded. It's not that your ability is the problem, or that your hard work is the problem. The Matthew Effect is like a door that separates the poor and the rich into 2 rooms. If you haven't entered that room, no matter how hard you try in this room, it's useless because that room is large and luxuriously furnished. Inside there is caviar made from the eggs of the beluga sturgeon, scented with saffron, and pine nut dew made with white diamond essence. Few people are inside, but they are well dressed, chatting and enjoying themselves. The other room, on the other hand, is small and shabby. People inside find it difficult even to fill their stomachs. Look, which room are you in? That's the world of the rich and the poor. Some people exhaust their entire lives and still cannot open the door to wealth. The problem is not the extent of your diligence, but the constraint of the Matthew Effect. The gate to the upper class is not so easy to open anymore. In a field, if you don't have connections or access to information, even if you work extremely hard, it's challenging to break through the class barrier. Meanwhile, the rich, with their abundant resources and connections, attract a large number of talents. They only need to invest a bit of money and can receive returns many times over. Moreover, their children receive elite training from a young age, and when starting a business, they receive support from the resources of the older generation's friends. Compared to those with no resources and no money, only passionate dreams, it's much easier for the wealthy to succeed. So remember, it's not just with passionate effort that you can achieve great success. Part 3. Since there is the Matthew Effect, do ordinary people still need to strive? You must not think this way. Many people think, since it's such a vicious cycle, what's the point of working hard? Let me tell you, the Matthew Effect precisely indicates that the position of the rich is not easily shaken. But what's the good news? The good news is that if you enter the ranks of the rich, your position is basically unshakable. Unless you stop learning and growing, make a major mistake, and return to poverty, usually the probability of the rich falling back into poverty is low, and the probability of the poor rising up is relatively difficult. So, this shows that as long as you succeed once, earn your first bucket of gold, and enter the ranks of the rich, it's challenging to easily fall back down. The most important thing the rich gain is not money or material things, but a new way of thinking. To put it plainly, the rich know how to make money. So even if you are poor, as long as you win once, you will know the method and pattern of how to continue winning. How can the poor use the Matthew Effect to turn things around? Find your advantage and magnify it infinitely. Remember, do not change your shortcomings. Remember these 2 sentences. 1. Find your advantage and magnify it infinitely. 2. Never change your shortcomings. Since the Matthew Effect has proven the principle of the strong getting stronger and the weak getting weaker, it also indicates that if you continually magnify your advantage, it will become stronger, while your shortcomings, no matter how you try to change them, will only become weaker. For example, Jordan's advantage is playing basketball, and Beckham's advantage is playing soccer. If you make Jordan play soccer, no matter how hard he practices, he will only become weaker in front of Beckham, because confidence is effective, right? If you are a parent, never let your child compete using their weaknesses against others' strengths. That will only make you and your child lose confidence. Not every child has the talent for excellent achievements. school knowledge and qualifications do not necessarily represent a child's future success. For example, some children have high academic qualifications and outstanding learning abilities, but it only proves they have an advantage in exams and talents, not necessarily their abilities in society. Everyone's success comes from leveraging their advantages. What about the shortcomings? Shouldn't you change them at all? Yes, don't change anything. Find the areas where you have shortcomings, and then cooperate with someone who excels in those areas. Your weaknesses might be their strengths. Just collaborate with them. Comprehensive development leads to overall mediocrity. You don't need comprehensive development, you only need to maximize your strengths and collaborate with others for what you lack. You don't have to spend all your time and energy on developing every aspect. Focus and turn your strength into your label, continuously spread and communicate it so that more people know about your strength. We need to think, what are your advantages? In the eyes of others, what are your strengths? Where have you succeeded in the past? What have you succeeded in before, representing your advantage in that area? If you have never succeeded before, think about something that others find challenging but is easy for you to do, or something you do without feeling tired. That's also your advantage. Just magnify that advantage desperately. Many people are foolish, only competing with others in physical strength. As the body ages, that is not a sustainable advantage. You should find an advantage that others don't possess. Part 4. What you excel at is not necessarily what you enjoy. Many people always mistake their interests as their advantages, but that's wrong. Interests are interests, and advantages are advantages. If your interest and advantage happen to align, that's even better, but often interest and advantage may not be the same thing. For example, Jordan's advantage is playing basketball, but if Jordan's true passion is not basketball but baseball, and he decides to play baseball after winning championships in basketball, he might find that he excels at basketball but struggles with baseball. So baseball is Jordan's hobby, but basketball is Jordan's advantage. You often see people on the basketball court who don't play well but run energetically, tirelessly shooting but missing every time. However, you see them playing every day with passion. What is this? This is having an interest but not having talent. When building a career, never do only what you enjoy. You should try various things to see what you can easily do well but is challenging for others. When you do something just out of interest, you don't need others' approval. But once you turn your interest into a profession, you need approval from many people, at least satisfying customers, and the team should find it good, right? When interest becomes a task, the garden turns into a battlefield. So, instead of doing what you like, do what you are good at.
Part 5. Every industry has 1% of people taking 99% of the cake, and the remaining 99% of people take only 1% of the cake. How do you become part of that 1%? It's by maximizing and perfecting your advantage. If you do something to a level of 60, you can only receive a return of 20. If you do something to a level of 80, you can get a return of 60. If you do something to a level of 99, you can receive a return of 99. If you do something to a level of 100 or 101, you can get a return of 1,000 or even 10,000. Hard work does not equal achievement. Seniority does not equal ability. Connections do not equal relationships. If you are not capable, no matter how hard you work, your future will not yield results. So, maximize your advantage in the workplace, in entrepreneurship, in society, in the family, so that you can possess an irreplaceable advantage. As for how to maximize your advantage, the most important thing is to focus your attention on one thing. Always remember, attention is far more important than time and money by 10,000 times. If you want wealth and status, focus all your attention on the growth of your own advantage, instead of easily getting distracted by entertainment, watching videos on your phone, or frequently socializing. All these are time-wasting activities. The essence of business is value exchange. Only when your personal intrinsic value increases can your external wealth and status rise accordingly, and your intrinsic value must reach a certain height. Otherwise, your external wealth is unlikely to see any improvement. Life is about spending time and money in the right places. Today, I shared the Matthew effect with you. Find your advantage, maximize and perfect it. When you invest 100% of your energy in one thing, you can get a return of 10,000%. If you only invest 60% of your energy, you can only get a return of 20. That's it for today's sharing. The next part will have even more exciting content. Bye.